Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. It could be a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overhearing somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll be featuring the case of 21-year-old Donald Fuzzel. On April 12, 2015, Donald Fuzzel, the jokester of the family with a contagious smile, was going to visit a friend. He made a stop at a local gas station where he was confronted by multiple individuals. Two of those people started firing shots into Donald's car, striking him several times. Here's his story.
He was my only son. He was a mess. He was always the jokester in the house. He had this smile that was just light up.
If you're feeling down or you want to smile, come around him. Or if he come around you, guaranteed to smile.
You couldn't find nothing to dislike about him. He was one of those just people you just, click with.
He loved to write. That was one of his later aspirations, was to write for a rap group. He had friends, they were into music and everything.
We always wanted to be like rich and famous, make it big on the music thing.
He really influenced a lot of us on the music side because he's been singing since we were younger. So by him knowing how to sing, of course it's going to influence everybody around us.
He did Little League, T-ball, he did football with basketball. That was him, yeah.
We used to go to the rec center. We had a rec center in Cal Park. Our old grammar school, Calumet Grammar School, had like a big football field. So every Sunday, all the guys would meet up and we'd go have a big football game.
We used to play basketball, a lot of stuff, video games, everything. Just typical, friend, best friend type of stuff.
My son didn't bring girls home, and I was like, how come you don't you got a girlfriend? Bring her home, let me meet her. And he was like, Mama, when I bring somebody home, you gonna know she's special. And Pam was one of them.
I met him through high school. I knew him through a couple of friends, and then I switched high school, so my relationship kind of fell off with him. And then I met him later on in life, and I didn't want to talk to him at first. Then he kept chasing me around, so finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to you. And then we started talking, and then eventually I became his girlfriend. It would have been a year next month.
I seen a difference in him. She was a father. I think her father was supposed to be helping him get a construction job, and they had got the car and the apartment, and he was just starting to feel good about himself, and he was starting to feel that he had, be responsible. It really made me feel good to see that he was finally growing up, and starting to realize a lot of things, and he was starting to appreciate a lot of the things that I told him as he was growing up as a teenager, that he was starting to feel like, Mom, you was right about that.
He was a very upbeat person. He had a lot of friends. He was always the center of attention. He liked to go out a lot, always outside, always doing something. He was very reliable. We shared a car together, so he made sure that he picked me up, took me to work every day.
He was always smiling. He was always trying to enjoy life. It was all fun, fun, fun.
He really loved his family, especially his sisters. He felt like he gotta protect them, take care of them. The family was real big with Don.
His sisters, He was everything to them. And they adored him, and he adored them. They had their little spats, but they always knew they had their big brother.
His sisters love when he used to come home. Like, he has 2 twin sisters, and they probably, like, they're obsessed with him. Like, and he's like the protector of those little girls. But he was a good family guy. Like, he was really close with his mom, and like his mom meant the world to him.
I didn't realize until, after he was gone, how much I depended on him. So when I would be off to work, he was the one that was he was in charge. I would always tell the twins that he's in charge. I never realized that he made me feel safer in the home because I had a male in the home.
It's a different kind of loss to like lose somebody that you like actually really, really cared about.
Donald Fuzzel came to Gary, Indiana to visit a friend and stopped at the gas station located at 2395 Broadway in Gary, Indiana, where he was subsequently gunned down by 2 males, ultimately ending in his death.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On April 12, 2015, at approximately 10:55 p.m., first responders responded to a call of shots fired at 2395 Broadway and located the victim, Donald Fazil, laying face down in the driveway near the front door of the gas station.
The last time I seen Don was when he dropped me off to work.
He came and see me around like 2 o'clock. We went to McDonald's, grabbed something to eat. We came back and sat in front of my house and we were just talking. He ate his food and he left.
He came in that Sunday evening. First thing he came in, Mama, you didn't cook Sunday dinner? Because usually I do cook on Sundays. So he messed around outside in the front of the house. Some of his friends was there. They were all out there. He came back in and I was telling him about a bill we had. And so he was like, okay, Ma, I got you. So when he was walking out the door, we just said bye to each other. I see you later. He told me he'll be back.
Later on that night, I had called him. That's when he told me he was in Indiana. It was like 10 or 15 minutes before it happened.
It's my understanding that the victim traveled here with an acquaintance from Illinois, stopped briefly at that 23rd gas, went inside the gas station briefly, and as he came out, that's when the suspects approached him.
They were just waiting for the opportune time. He was alone. He was from out of state.
2 males came from the north side of the gas station, approached the vehicle that Donald Fazil was in, exchanged some words with him. Upon him opening the door, both subjects began firing shots, striking Donald Fazil multiple times. The vehicle rolled into a concrete barrier. Suspects appeared to run in a northwest direction from the scene. At this point, Donald Fazil attempted to open the door and run into the gas station. There was a call reported of shots fired. Officers responded and found the victim laying face down. They checked for any signs of life. When they found out there was no signs of life, then they obviously secured it as a crime scene.
The guy that he was with called me around, I said like 1:45 or 1:50 in the morning. And he telling me like, man, something happened at a gas station out here. I don't know if it was him. They just said it was a red car with tents on it. I'm like, that don't mean nothing. There's a lot of red cars that got tinted windows on it, you know what I'm saying? So he like, okay, I'm finna try to call the police and try to find out that they have him. He called the coroner's office to pretend like he was his father to see if it was him. And they confirmed that it was him, so he called back and told me.
I probably got that phone call about, I would say 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. After that, it was kind of like a blur. Like it all was just a scramble after that.
One of our friends called me and was like, yeah, Don got shot. And then I found out later on that he actually passed.
One of his friends came and told me, he had told us that he had been out there beating out on our door and windows for like an hour trying to get in the house to tell us.
If he in Indiana, I know no way they can get in contact with his mom, so I have to be the one to go over there, you know? So I walked to the house, and I was knocking for a while. Nobody's answering. I don't know what they thought, but I didn't want to scare everybody, so I just knocked, kept on knocking, being patient till somebody came.
I went to the front door, and I opened up the door. I was like, what's wrong? What happened? Because I knew for him to be there at 2 o'clock in the morning, something had happened.
I couldn't even really tell her, like, your son gone.
And I'm like, what? Because he just stopped. It was like he couldn't get it out, and he wouldn't look at me.
And I honestly seen her face. She seen it all in my face. She knew me almost my whole life, so she seen it in my face, something wasn't right. So she, Will, you better tell me what's going on. And I finally told her, like, he gone.
And I'm like, gone? What do you mean gone? I said, you telling me he dead? After that, it was just screams and hollers. I was in a dream. This could not be happening. What am I supposed to do now?
The feeling is really, you can't describe it. It's like somebody just grabbing your heart and just like squeezing it.
On April 12, 2015, at approximately 10:55 p.m., first responders responded to a call of shots fired at 2395 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. Donald Fuzzel was subsequently gunned down by two males, ultimately ending in his death.
Sometimes I have to tell myself that he's not, deceased, that he's just not here right now, just to have some peace.
It was hard because I was just with him yesterday, the day before that. A few hours ago, I just talked to him. And then you called telling me he gone, like he not here no more, like it's hard.
We're standing here on the corner of 24th and Broadway at 2395 Broadway, where Donald Fazil was murdered. The area is a mixture of residential as well as commercial buildings. Donald Fazil pulled up in his vehicle, exited his vehicle, and entered into the front door of the gas station. The two suspects emerged from the north side of the gas station and approached Donald's vehicle, where they ultimately shot him multiple times. These suspects appeared to have run off in a northwest direction from this location.
There was video surveillance at the gas station, which was later recovered. There was a woman who was walking to the gas station prior to him arriving, which she continued walking as he pulled up. He went into the gas station. She followed him in. Then when he came out, it appears from the video that she stopped him briefly to ask him something. Then she came out, spoke to him at his car. Then when she walked away, that's when the two males came from the north side of the gas station.
I instantly booked my flight back to Chicago, and then the day of his funeral, I went, because they got the viewing of the body and stuff like that, and I went, and that was the last time I seen him.
That was just a nightmare. It was unreal. And even today, sometimes I don't feel like this is real, that he's really gone.
It's hard because the pain she feels, she lost her son though, you know what I'm saying? Like this her son, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see her like that. I don't want to see her sisters like that.
I can only imagine, like, the memories that's just around the house, like pictures of him, like, I couldn't imagine.
The way they deal with it is to just say he's not here right now, they don't want to say the word.
They're holding up. They're holding up. And I try to come by and see them as much as I can and let them know that they got my support.
He played a major impact on a lot of our lives, like, and I know it hurt a lot of people. It's hard because I know he not coming back, and I had to get that in my head, you know, like, he ain't never walking through that door no more.
I think it was just a random act of violence. And unfortunately, that's what's going on in our communities now. People just waking up and they have no value for life because they don't know what they took from my family.
You get used to being around the same person for X amount of time, and then like one day you wake up and they're just gone. Like your whole process is different. Like I used to do everything with that person. Like he was my best friend. Like I went to him for everything.
When you got 4 or 5 people in the house, you never realize their position, but everybody has their position, and when that person is missing, it causes, you know, a terror. So we had to get used to him not being there. You know, my twins, they had to get used to not feeling safe anymore because he made them feel safe because he was a boy, he was a man.
It's still crazy to me. It's like, it's one of those things like where you almost feel like you're not living no more, like you live like you're in a dream or something. I really think he wouldn't have been there if I was in town. I think we would have did something else.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On April 12, 2015, at approximately 10:55 p.m., Donald Fuzzel came to Gary, Indiana to visit a friend and stopped at the gas station located at 2395 Broadway in Gary, Indiana, where he was subsequently gunned down by 2 males that came from the north side of the gas station, ultimately ending in his death. At this time, we're appealing to the community to assist in this investigation if they recognize any of the 2 people in the video.
If you don't stop this, next time it's going to be your son or your daughter or niece or nephew. You know, it's not going to end because if they did this one time, ain't no telling what else they have done, and now they're comfortable. They think they could do this again, even though they may have done it before.
Well, I want them to let us know everything that they can. Like, whatever more that they know that I don't, like, I would like to know, like, if you don't feel comfortable going to the police or whatever the case may be, like, you could always come to me, like, you could always talk to his mom, like, whatever they know, it would just be a great deal of help.
I would want them to say something and go to the authorities. That's what I would want. That's what I pray for, you know, that it's some kind of justice.
I just wish I could just figure out how to stop all of this violence because there's so many mothers out here in the same situation I am. And if it was not for my faith and me being grounded in the Word of God, I don't know how I would have been able to manage this. And I know there's a lot of people out here that's going through this, and we need to figure out as a community, you know, as how do we stop this from our kids with this violence, with these guns?
You should put yourself in that situation. Like, what if it was somebody that you really cared about and they had an unsolved case and you wanted to know everything and people knew and they didn't tell you? Like, how would it make you feel? Like, people should put themselves in their shoes.
The video appears to be coming from up high, so it's kind of hard to gauge. They look like they're shorter, maybe 5'6", 5'8". The one on the left appeared to be wearing a dark colored jacket with the hood up, carrying his firearm in his left hand. The individual on the right appeared to be wearing a dark colored hooded sweatshirt with a firearm in the right hand. The female seen walking to the gas station when Donald Fazil drove up appeared to have a distinctive walk, wearing a green hooded sweatshirt with white writing on the front and blue jean pants. If the woman wearing the green sweatshirt is watching, we would like to speak with her in regards to this case, or if anybody recognizes her and knows who she is, if they could contact us, or either of the two suspects involved in this to come forward, let us know who they are, so that we could bring closure to the victim and justice for the family.
If you know something about him being murdered or being set up or anybody even bragging about it or any information at all, I feel like you should step forward with it. Don't let the fear of whatever that somebody else putting in your head stop the justice that my friend mother is trying to see.
Please go to the authorities, tell them, you know, what you know. Anything can help, because next time it's gonna be you.
If anyone has any information that they can provide regarding the shooting death of Donald Fuzzel, they can contact me or any member of the Lake County Metropolitan Homicide at 219-755-3855, or contact the Gary Police Department Anonymous Tip Line at 1-866-CRIME-GP, and all calls will remain anonymous.
He really didn't deserve it, and he was a good kid. He was a good guy, you know, and I really believe that there should be some type of justice for him.
You know you're wrong, just do what's right.
Turn yourself in. Just turn yourself in. It's only going to be a matter of time, because if the authorities don't get you, the streets will.
And I just wish that I could rewind time and just bring him back for a minute for like one last time.
The cases featured on tonight's episode remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any of the cases featured on the show, please give the detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods safe again.